What's up, players? Welcome to the Nasty Soul channel. Today we're talking OG neo-soul songs. That's right, we're getting to the roots of where it all came from, and one of those bands is The Roots. Yes sir, The Roots were one of the pioneering bands that helped shape the sound and vibe of what we know as the original neo-soul movement. And the song we're going to jam is featuring one of the guitar players who led the way in all those dope neo-soul guitar moves that we love. His name is Spanky Alford, and the song is What They Do. In this song, we're going to see the grooviest way to play a simple 2-chord vamp and some classic neo-soul rhythm and lead moves. And if you want to follow along this lesson with interactive tab, check us out on Patreon. Here we go. Now this song starts out featuring the guitar while Spanky plays through all the perfect neo-soul lines. This song is in the key of C minor with a 1 minor to 4 minor chord progression, or you could say C minor 7 to F minor 7. And just in this intro, we could break it down into 4 neo-soul ideas. The first lick, he plays the diatonic scale, or C minor, just like this. Just real simple, less a delayed take it, just sets up that vibe. And just make sure you see that C minor scale, the classic one that we all know right here on the 8th fret, and play that lick. And the second idea is playing a chord voicing. So over the C minor chord, he plays a C minor 9 voicing that we can find up here on the 13th fret. But he's going to slide into the G and B string and grab this 13th fret and do that twice. Just like that. Just a nice little move. C minor 9 over our C minor chord. And then idea number 3 is play the blues scale. So he's got the C minor pentatonic scale and he plays these 2 blues licks like this. And our second lick. Now the important thing about this idea is to be able to see the extended pentatonic pattern. So if we know our pentatonic pattern C on the 8th fret, then I want to be able to see how it extends down to right here. Yeah, and then up here. Just where to slide, and that brings out these nice classic blues phrasing. Down to this extended pattern. And then for our next lick, we go back to the chord voicing idea, and we can play our C minor chords and then F minor chords. And we're going to take this voicing right here for C minor, barring the 8th fret, and add in a hammer-on pull-off on the 10th fret. And then we go up to this E flat 6/9, which is a perfect substitute for C minor, so that's great to throw in there over any C minor chord. And we can hammer on as well on the 13th fret. And then we hit this F minor chord. Hammer on the 15, because that's where we're going. And then finally down here to another F minor. And I'm going to play it like this, barring the 8th fret, middle finger on the 9th fret of the B string. And then I can hammer on, top 2 strings, 13th fret. And then middle 2 strings, 8th fret. And we're going to play that full idea like this. Just like that. So our whole chord voicing idea will look like this. And then our fourth idea is the double stops. So we're going to break this up into 2 different ideas. Hanging around in our C minor pentatonic area, we're going to start with the hammer-on like this. Just on the A and D, and then the D and G string. And then our next double stop move is going to go like this. Now this one's a little funny because we go between our 3rd harmony right here like this on the G and B string. And then we go to our 4th harmony like this. Yeah. So put those 2 double stop moves together and we got this lick right here. Beautiful. Now what Spanky does for the chorus is he leads into C minor by going up the C minor pentatonic scale and slides into the C minor 9 like this. And then he hits that chord again, grabs his quick G note, and falls into our F minor 9. And that's the same type of voicing that we used in the beginning over the C minor 9. And it really just, it comes out of this F minor 9 chord right here. So if we know that F minor 9, and if I were to bar across it to do this chord, which is also an F minor 9, just adding the 11, take away our root note, and boom, we got that voicing right there. And this one's nice because it's just a little bit easier to play, and we're focusing on just those top 4 strings. I could hammer on this too. That's what he does. All right, so now the next time around, he takes the same idea but brings it down a register, sliding into this lower C, going up the pentatonic scale, and grabbing this just slightly lower C minor chord on the D, G, and B string, grabbing that B, and grabbing this lower F minor 7 chord, just that simple shell chord. So now our whole chorus will look like this, nice and slow. All right, let's hear the whole thing now. Nice. Now our last part is the verse. And the most important thing about any song, but especially a song that has the same chord progression throughout, is to change up the dynamics. Over the chorus, he plays a pretty busy part that flows nicely with the melody. So over the verse, he plays very sparsely, doing these simple soul slides. So over the C minor, he plays this. Just a double stop from 8 to 10 on the D and G string. And then over the F minor chord, he plays this double stop on the top 2 strings from 6 to 8. And to give it that final musical touch, every 4th time he plays this slight variation, which is a 3rd on the middle 2 strings, 10 on the D string, and 8 on the G string. Just going up a whole step and back down. So if I were learning this song to play with a group, I would make little mental notes, or actually real notes because my memory is just horrible, that each slide comes in on the and of beat 2. So I would count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, and I'll practice that and know exactly that's when it comes in. And then for my variation, it comes in on the downbeat of beat 1. So if I start from the beginning of the measure, it would look like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Although this part seems pretty simple, it's actually a great exercise in controlled sliding and sliding a bar. On top of that, the trick of this whole song is the swing. Sure, you could probably pick up these little licks and chord moves pretty easily, but to play them with that beautiful swing and groove that Spanky does, well, that'll take some practice. Now, just a quick recap on how we could break down some of these ideas. We could break down our soloing into 4 groups: playing the scale, playing a chord voicing, playing the blues scale, or playing double stops. And those are just some simple ideas that you could think about just to change up anything that you might be doing if you feel like you're in a rut. Now, when it comes to the chord voicings, we could look at a couple of these too. So over C minor, we have C minor 9, we have E flat 6/9, And then we even have this middle C minor, if we want to get just like a lower sound. And then over F minor, we have this high F minor 9 right here. This type of F minor 7, and then I could hammer on all of these. And then this F minor 9. And then finally this lower F minor. So you could take all those different ideas, play around with them, put them into your solo, put them into your rhythm playing just to spice it up, change it up, and expand upon those ideas. Unfortunately, the recorded version of the song is slightly out of key, so you can't jam along with it. But I created this nice jam track where you can work on all these parts and even throw in a groovy solo if you want. Now the jam track and tab for this lesson is available to Patreon members. Your support keeps this channel alive and growing, so I appreciate all of you. And I'd love to hear from you too, so drop a comment or hit me up on IG. And if you're looking for all these different types of neo-soul ideas nicely organized for your reference, check out my neo-soul book. You can learn more about it at this link right here. And as always, keep jamming and stay nasty.